Hey, you guys. Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. I am. I just want to bring something to you guys right quick. If you don't know, you know by now, I am a horror fan, a thriller, true crime, all of that since I was like a kid. Always loved it. But I did watch the movie Titanic because duh, Leo DiCaprio, he was in it. So yes, that's definitely why I watched it. Now that movie was released on December 19th, 1997. If you remember, it sank the Titanic, colliding with an iceberg on the way to New York, some way close to Cape Cod. And the band played on. I remember that part because I remember thinking that is so badass that while these people are literally sinking and are seconds away from their own demise, they're still playing the music. And they did this to calm the people who were actually drowning and dying and fighting to get life vests and to get on the little boats and everything. But they're actually saying now, the survivors of the Titanic, they're actually saying that the band did not play on. Now I'm thinking, do you really remember that the band really wasn't playing? Do you really remember? What were you doing when the band was playing or not playing? What were you doing? Were you getting on the little boat? Were you fighting over a life vest? I mean, seriously, what were you doing? So in my mind, I will always believe that the band was playing, most definitely. So my question is, what would you do with $250,000? Perhaps visit the watery grave of souls that died 111 years ago on the Titanic? Well, unfortunately, Hamish Harding, Paul Henry Negalot, Shadaza DeWood, and his son, Solomon DeWood, and the CEO of this tour, Stockton Rush, they all ended up perishing on the vessel that they were calling the Titan. They went down there in a boat to see the watery grave, 13,000 feet below sea level, 900 miles east of Cape Cod on the Titan vessel. And they ended up passing away. I don't know which was more tragic. I hate to say this, but wanting to see a grave of these people, it's I personally wouldn't do it. I mean, a lot of them suffered, I imagine. They suffered. But and then to pay that amount of money to go see it. But I understand a lot of people think that, oh, it's like, you know, because we talked about it so much and because there was many movies and documentaries about the Titanic, that you feel like it's no longer has something to do with the human situation. It's more of a making money. It's more, of things like that. I can't really find the words I'm looking for, but they're not really putting thought into that people died. I mean, it's the reason why they haven't went down there and brought this whole entire boat up without it probably falling to pieces. But it's a reason why. Like for instance, I've been reading for the past 2 years about Lake Lanier, and I will start talking about it on this channel very soon. But all of a sudden a movie came out, and a lot of people are talking about it again. So I like to wait a minute. I don't like to be doing what everyone else is doing. But I have been looking at it for like the past 2 years, and I just got really interested in it to where I am going to drive down there because I'm not far. I'm about a good 2 hours. So I said, I'm going to go down there and drive. But I knew a lot of the scuba divers that went down there to, see certain things. They said it's eerie. It's scary. They felt like they were being touched and all kind of stuff. I don't live too far from the Chattahoochee River, and every summer, like 3 or 4 people tragically end up dying in there. And people are like, what do you guys keep really fucking around over there. But, they do. And they used to, what I've heard, which I don't think is too far from the truth, but throw the slaves in there at one point in the Chattahoochee River. So I wouldn't put it past the fact that people are getting grabbed in there when they're trying to, like, they'll get drunk and they bet they can, swim from one end to another, and it just doesn't pan out. This happens like every year. I kid you not. If you live in this area, this happens like every year. Or a child will take off running from its parents and right into the water. This happens all the time. Tragic. Just tragic. I walk down there for exercise, and I don't think about going even close to that water. I see families down there all the time, even let the dogs swim in there. Now, the dogs always come back safely. It's the people that don't. But that's a whole nother story. And I definitely will get into that later. But back to this Titanic boat. I mean, in a way, it is fascinating. And I know that without some of the, what do you call them? Not architects, but, the guys that they go into other countries and they find out things, like the ones that go and they dig up grave sites so we can, quote, learn about what happened beforehand. And in a sense, we do learn about it. And allegedly, some of the things that they find, like gold. I mean, didn't they find like King Tut's tomb at one time? And I believe parts went to a museum, and I'm sure other parts go into the pocketbooks of a lot of these people. But it is what it is, right? And you don't have to be superstitious, I don't think, to feel like a grave can be cursed. I mean, it's someone's final resting place. If you want to call it cursed, but I don't think you should really mess around with things like that, even though it's for, in some a learning experience. They're called grave robbers, but I guess because they feel like it's going to go into a museum, it's different. But you're getting paid for either people to come into that museum. You guys know what I'm getting at. I just don't think some of the things that happened is right, but it's going to happen regardless. And I just wonder why, people would want to go to see the Titanic just stuck in the bottom there. Just stuck there. Okay, you guys know I'm about to go to Texas to get to Atlanta. It's like the depths of hell. They said they found the hole that leads to hell. I mean, how many people are going to drop $250 to go see that? And I mean, $250. I mean, would you pay $250 to go inside the depths of hell? Would you? I mean, I don't know. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't pay that to go see the Titanic, in person. And I wouldn't go to pay it to go crawl into the depths of hell for $250. I just wouldn't. Jay and Sean, they are a father and son, and they had said that they had given up their seats because they were headed down there to see the Titanic. And they said they had, concerns about it, like, could the pressure hold them? They had all sorts of concerns. I believe they may have even reached out to some people that was partaking in this Titan vessel, but they decided last minute not to. And they know that this could have been them. They could have been dead. And they are, I guess, very grateful that they did not take that chance to go down there. So Jay and Sean, if you're listening to this, by any chance, if you're listening, you guys paid $500,000, or you were going to, so it's nothing to you guys. Hey, look, I just want like 100,000. I just want a nice little house here in Georgia and to do some dental work. That's it. That's all I want. But anyway, you guys have a great, great Saturday afternoon. And I'm coming back shortly with another video that I was supposed to do yesterday. Okay? Okay. Bye.